right, so Brian Windhorse had something to say about the San Antonio Spurs. Is he always accurate? No, but I do like looking at things like this because we get a chance to kind of see what mainstream media has to say about San Antonio.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so I have not watched this, but I am interested. I am intrigued. So it says, having spent this weekend here, I am going to say there's going to be a player or two who's going to be forward thinking and want to get himself to San Antonio. I don't know what this means other than the fact that Wemby, growing star, obviously. I mean, you want to go ahead and get it while the getting's good, okay? Because Wemby is getting better and better very quickly. And then on top of it, you have, Popovich there for, not too much longer. I mean, at least, until he's 79. I think maybe he'll retire by then. So, yeah, you want to get in now, man, because I think the Spurs are going to legitimately be a contender in the next 2-3 years. I probably 3 years if we're being real. But anyways, so he predicts the Spurs' future over the next few years. All right, let's see what he has to say. I don't think I can speed this up, but I can. 1.25. Yeah, cool. All right, let's get it.
Very, 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 very good. These teams, not only are they...
Did I miss something? What the heck?
Draymond used 4 varies.
Draymond
used 4 varies.
Okay.
Very, 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 very good.
I'm confused. I don't know.
These teams, not only are they blown away by what they're watching from Victor.
Oh crap! I can't show this. I'm sorry. I don't want to be copyrighted.
When they're playing against him, but where they saw him early in the season. And so all I'm going to say is this: yes, the Spurs have a responsibility and a challenge to build this roster around him. But having spent this weekend here, I am going to say there's going to be a player or two who is going to be forward thinking and want to get himself to San Antonio. Somebody is going to see this opportunity.
Now, to be fair, we've already had a few players say that they wanted to come to San Antonio, right? Or at least have San Antonio on their list. I know Dame has San Antonio on their list. We know that Trey Young really wants to come to San Antonio. So I don't think that's like a crazy take at this point. And I'm very convinced, okay, from everything that we've heard and that I've heard, I am very convinced that the San Antonio Spurs are going to try to get Trey Young. Nothing's a guarantee. Obviously, if the Atlanta Hawks kind of hold on to things, then it won't be a guarantee. But we'll see how things are going with Atlanta right now. And everyone expected this, right? Or at least if you're familiar with DeJounte Murray, you knew that he would have pretty decent numbers. With the amount of numbers that he's bringing up since Trey Young going down, this could go either way. Either the Atlanta Hawks could say, oh, we're good just with DJ. I'm praying that they say that. That would be hilarious. Or they might say, oh, maybe he can be, a second guy to Trey Young, and they just keep going on that rodeo. But I don't know. It can go either way. It's not a win or lose situation, I think, with the Spurs. Well, there's kind of a win-win with the Spurs. It doesn't really matter. I don't think that they'll be that good if they do keep this team intact next season, and that's good for us. And then on the other spectrum, if they want to go ahead and trade Trey Young to us, that's a win as well. So I think we'll be fine regardless. But I don't know. I'm sorry. I kind of got sidetracked. Yes, there are players, though, that we know of right now that would be interested in coming to San Antonio. So I don't think this is a crazy take.
And this is my prediction. I am making a prediction.
Stop. Here we go.
Presses.
Hold on. Let me get ready.
Somebody is going to see this opportunity and say, I can get myself to San Antonio. I can be this guy's running mate. I got to do it. And there's wide open space to do it.
Yeah, I wonder if he's hearing something about, gosh, can he just mention Trey Young? I mean, Trey Young's kind of the big one right now, right? Like, this isn't a pipe dream, by the way. This isn't one of those, oh, this is just a rumor mill or anything. We know there's been so many instances, at least just from the outside looking in, that we know Trey Young would be interested with the Spurs. Lots of hints, right? Lots of hints. But even, apart from that, there are reports that his people have said, yeah, he would be interested in playing with Wemby. So, we know these things. We know that he grew up a Spurs fan. We know his dad is a huge Spurs fan. This is no... I wish he would just say Trey Young, but it could be anybody. He's right. I mean, somebody's going to try to come. I mean, obviously.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be this summer or even next season, but at some point, somebody's going to see this in it. My guess is, and this is just a total guess, my guess is it's not going to be a guy who's in his early 20s on the Fun Max contract. My guess is it's going to be a guy on his second contract, or maybe at the end of his first, big contract, who realizes I'm not going to be able to, because I can sit here and say, wow, wouldn't it be amazing if Ant Edwards played with Victor Wembanyama? Yeah, it would be amazing. Guess what? Ant Edwards ain't going anywhere. All right, I'm talking about somebody who's maybe somebody is going to recognize, they already are recognizing what they see here.
I mean, obviously, right? I don't think this is that controversial. Sorry. Let's go to the next one because there's a two-parter. Let's see. Make fun of me all you want. San Antonio is a growing city. Yeah, it actually is. Let's see. Let's go to 125. All right.
I've lived in Miami. I've lived in New York City. I spend 50 days a year in Los Angeles. You can say whatever you want about what I'm about to say, okay? San Antonio is a growing city. Lots and lots of people have moved to San Antonio in the last 4 or 5 years.
Have you noticed that, San Antonio people? You guys know I'm not from San Antonio. I was surprised. I know there's going to be a few people. I get this all the time. Like, oh, obviously you're from San Antonio. I am not from San Antonio. I've been to San Antonio on many of occasions. Okay, I've seen the Spurs play in San Antonio. I usually catch them if they go against the Grizzlies near Memphis because that's not too far. So like but I've been to San Antonio on several occasions. I've been to Dallas. And I don't know, the times that I've gone, it hasn't really seemed like it's grown that much. And this is like maybe a 6-7 year span of like me going to San Antonio. And then it was about 5 to 6 years probably. And then I went back. It didn't really seem any different, but I know it's much different when you actually live there. So has it been getting kind of crowded? I know a lot of cities have been getting more crowded, but yeah.
From Austin to San Antonio the other day, there is no difference between the cities now are grown together. I-35, it is one giant megalopolis from Austin to San Antonio.
Yeah, that's why the San Antonio Spurs have expanded out to Austin, right? Like that's the whole point.
Wow. They are playing games in Austin now. Yeah. They have the #1 practice facility in the NBA. If you want to think of it as a cow town, like it was the turn of the century, fine. And is it New York or LA? Of course not. But there's a whole bunch of people moving to Texas, and they're moving to Texas for a lot of reasons. And there's a lot of people moving to San Antonio. So it ain't Cleveland. And I say that as somebody from Cleveland. Okay. So Say whatever you want about nobody ever wanting to be in San Antonio. Go ahead and say it.
I know quite a few people have been moving to cities and moving to Texas in particular, but I thought it was because housing is a little cheaper in Texas. Is that right? I don't know. Guys, I have no idea. I actually don't know.
I'm telling you, that's not necessarily true. It may be true for a lot of guys. Somebody's going to be like, you know what? That's not a bad place. They have great practice facility. There's no state income tax, and I can play with Victor Wembanyama for the rest of my career and make a ton of money.
Good organization, right? Good organization.
Of course, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm walking away. I'm leaving San Antonio now, but that's what I'm walking away saying.
Well, and that's the challenge. That's the challenge that the Spurs have, is they have to have the ability to get that kind of player when they become available and not box themselves out of it by rushing into other stuff.
I agree.
I don't know. That sounds kind of like an accusation.
Walking away. I'm leaving San Antonio now, but that's what I'm walking away saying.
Well, and that's the challenge. That's the challenge that the Spurs have, is they have to have the ability to get that kind of player when they become available and not box themselves out of it by rushing into.
Yeah, that'll be fine. I don't really think this is that. I don't. This doesn't feel like a hot take to me. I feel like. I don't know. Brian Windhorse is very known. Is very much so known for like big headlines. And this could be a pretty big story or something that people run with. But me personally, I would have assumed this already. So I don't know. It's good stuff, though. It's really nice to see what mainstream media has to say about the Spurs. And it seems like everybody's on the hype train. One thing that I really like, and we need to enjoy it now because it's not going to be like this forever, okay? One thing I really like is the fact that mainstream media is on our side, that they're basically cheering us on. Nobody really sounds like they want us to fail or anything. No one's talking poorly about Vic because it's kind of hard to hate him, right? I mean, no one's talking poorly about the Spurs. You know, as far as the Popovich stuff, you usually hear that with like people on Twitter. It's either like silly people on Twitter or it's Skip Bayless. Like other than that, most people are like, yeah, Pop is the GOAT. He's helping Vic. So it's a lot of positivity coming towards San Antonio way. And maybe it'll remain that way, right? Like the biggest complaint that I've always had about mainstream media when it comes to the Spurs is just that they don't cover them enough. But we're getting covered a lot in a lot of teams. I say if this was, I don't know, LeBron or whatever, people be pretty critical, pretty mean. Even when he was younger, people were pretty rough at times. But I don't know. We'll wait and see. You know, eventually, what they say in Batman, you live long enough, you be the hero, live long enough, see yourself become the villain or something like that. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. But maybe if we stay in the public eye, they'll start to hate us. But hey, it's nice right now, okay? It's nice being in the public eye, and people are pretty positive about it. So anyways, I will get with you guys later, man. Until next time, bye.